Boom.
Oh, what's that mean?
Oh, yeah, like go for it. That's you, all you.
There's like a little Tiffany. I see a little Tiffany in the screen.
She keeps popping through from the, yeah, that's.
I see that. I love
is.
it. Well, listen, I'm so excited. Hey, thank you so much for having us. And Tom just texted. He said he had to actually go take care of his granddaughter for a bit. So he stepped out. But Deb and I brought for you today what we think, actually, we've a script. We got a script. And we brought that for you, and we'll give that to you because I think it's a script that we should all be using right now to make some calls, to reach out, love on some people. And of course, we know that it will generate, of course, referrals and opportunities to have conversations with people and set yourself up for success. Because if you didn't already know, we're like halfway through the year, right? So we're like heading into the third quarter, and we need to build up some momentum heading into the third and the fourth quarter, right? Like seriously, it's like game time.
Can I just say one thing about scripts before, just one sentence? You like movies. If you like movies, I hate to burst your bubble, but they're scripts. So I know people have resistance to that word, but you don't sit in a movie theater and sit back and go, that's just a script. The actors embody the words and deliver them in a way that it sounds like them. So practice and repetition will allow a script to sound like you. And so if it's just a way to help you with language that gets you more results. That's it. That's all I got.
May I add?
Yeah, go ahead, Charles.
What's helped me with cold calling, I've made 1,817 year to date. Getting a mirror and cold calling standing up. Because while I like the headphones because then I have my arms engaged while I'm on the phone. Because with the voice, people can hear the energy you have. And it took 3 months for me to get no questions of, are you a recording? Because until I listened to my voice for about 2 hours, I didn't realize that over the phone, I sounded like this, very monotone and dry, which caused people to ask if I'm a recording. So now I know I need to be more animated on a phone call and bring the pitch up because Selena Gomez hates her voice. The way you hear yourself is different from how everyone else hears you. So listen. And if you don't like your voice, then you got to regulate it so it sounds more appealing.
Great point. Thank you.
Charles got like that deep radio voice. Like that's what I feel like he's be on the radio.
Which is why people thought I was a recording.
We like it. Well, thank you for that, Charles. So we appreciate it. And like I said, we're going to share with you guys today a real simple one. In fact, we'll get it emailed out, but we'll actually role model that for you guys. And we want to listen, some of the teams that we're working with, they've been using it over the past couple of months. It works. It's a great script. It's real simple. You guys will love it. And we wanted to bring that to you today so you could go ahead and obviously get into action with it and use it. Listen, so one of the things that we wanted to talk about because, well, Deb and I have been in a lot of conversations this past week. And then of course we were working with our coach and we were working on something else and we have a goal and he reeled us back in. We were off target doing some different things and he sort of reeled us back in. He says, guys, it's the ultimate success formula. I said, what? He says, it's the ultimate success formula. So what he means by that, and I want to share that with you guys today. So if you got something to write with, because we'll go through it here in just a minute. But he says, listen, it's that simple. He says, whenever you're trying to do something, he says, just you go through the bullet points of the ultimate success formula, and you put that together, and you can achieve your goal. And so since we are halfway through the year and we're heading into that third quarter and we need to get that momentum up because we all know what the fourth quarter looks like typically for some of us. But get that momentum up. The summer months, the third quarter, we thought we'd bring that to you guys, especially since, gosh, our coach just went through that with us. And I found it to be valuable. And I talked to Debbie after the phone. And I said, man, that was a good call. He really, just brought it back for us. So anyway, here we go. So number one is in the ultimate success formula is to have a goal. And so I say that to you guys. So thinking into what the third quarter might look like for you, what would be a goal for you? Whether you got a big team or whether you're a solo agent, is it to have 6 closings? Is it to have 10? Is it to have 30 for my team or my group? What happens to be your number? So pick a goal. What do you want your third quarter to look like? That's number one. That's number one, is to have a goal. Now, this is where our coach really got us. Number two, he asked what the level of commitment to that goal was. And so here's what he said. He says, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at on your level of commitment for that goal? Are you at 10, meaning I'm all in? This is my goal. I am 100% all in. Whatever it takes, I'm going to get there. That's my goal. I'm committed to that goal. He says, or are you a 1? I'm not committed at all. It's just a number I wrote down. Or are you a 5? I'm kind of in. It's a good goal. If I hit it, it'll be okay. If I don't hit it, whatever. So where are you at on that scale of 1 to 10 committed to that goal, whatever it is that you chose? He says, because if you're not at a level 10, well, then number 3, 4, and 5 don't matter. Don't matter. And maybe we should go back up to the goal and take a look at the goal. And do we need to make an adjustment to that? So I ask you, where are you? So you got this goal. Where are you on the level of commitment? Are you at a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, 9? Or are you at a 10? I'm all in, and it's whatever it takes. I'm committed to that goal. If you're not, let's go back up to, thank you, Claire. Let's go back up to your goal. Maybe we need to adjust it. Maybe it's too big. We need to adjust it. All I know is if you wrote down 10 or 12 or 15 or whatever that happens to be, well, let's do some math. What's your average sales price? In our area, it's about 400,000. So 400,000, 3%, that's 12 grand. If I wrote down 5 times 12, it's about $70,000. So I got to think about that for a minute. Well, what would $70,000 over 3 months or that third quarter look like for me? Is that my number? Would that be life-changing? Am I committed to that? And if I'm not, well, do I need to adjust it, or who else might that impact if I don't hit that $70,000 or whatever your number is? So number one, let's have a goal. Number two, let's figure out where we are as far as our level of commitment. Are we at a 10? Are we at an 8? Because we need to be at a 10. We need to be all in if we're going to hit that goal. All in. So I ask because, like I said, Deb and I got called on the carpet with what we were working on as far as our level of commitment. We had to go back and we had to rethink things. And we both came up with a decision that we are at a level 10. I can tell you that. All right. So we got the goal, figured out our level of commitment. We're at a 10. And then number 3 is we got to have a plan. So we've got the goal. We're committed. Now we need to develop our plan in order to get there, whatever that looks like. And so going into that third quarter, I ask you what's your plan, and only you know what your plan is. Is it I'm going to do some door knocking like Elizabeth Canonis did the other night? Woo! Right? In the rain, got number 3 and 4 listing out of a subdivision. Thank you for that. I'm so happy you shared that with us. But what's your plan? And having it all spelled out, right? That was number 3. Then number 4, and only you can do this. Nobody else can do this. So we've got our goal. We've made our commitment. We've outlined our plan that we know is going to get us to our goal. Number 4, and only you can do this, is to get into action. Is to get into action. And we're not talking about just getting into action, tap dancing around. Massive action. Massive action. If you want to create momentum, you have to get into massive action. We all know that when we do that, good things happen, right? Good things happen. And so we have to get into massive action. It's almost, you know, we used to talk about, it's like an airplane taking off, right? They go full on, full throttle. They got to get this big giant bird off the ground. And it is full on. If they only did it a little bit, the thing's not taking off. It's not taking off. They will not get to where they want to go. They will not get to 10,000 feet. Right? So it is full on, full throttle, massive action. Get that bird up in the air, get it up to 10,000 feet. And then what happens? It gets to cruise, right? It gets to cruise. Things happen, right? So it is massive action we've got to get into. And then number 5, and it's real simple. We got to track our results. We got to see what's working. We got to measure, see what's working, what's not working. If it's not working, we got to change some things. Right? So we got to track our things. I love Charles. What did he say? He made like 3,000. I don't even know what he said, but he knew his number as far as his phone calls is concerned. I was like, holy crap, this guy knows how many, he made 1,000 some odd, whatever he said, but it was a lot. I was like, holy smokes, that's awesome. So good for you. But anyway, we've got to measure our results and we got to make adjustments if we need to, So I'll go through them one more time. 5 things, right? This number 1 is to have a goal. Number 2 was to figure out our level of commitment. We are 100% committed to that goal, whatever it takes. Because if you're not, then the rest of the stuff doesn't matter. Doesn't make any difference. You ain't gonna get there. Doesn't matter. And so if you got to go back and adjust the goal or rethink it or whatever, but make certain that you're 100% committed to that goal. And then after we figured that out, then we create our plan. Right? We create our plan, make sure we can hit that number. And then number 4 was get into action, massive action, that is. And then number 5, of course, was to measure and make adjustments. Friends, I can tell you that if you follow this formula, you'll hit your number. You will 100% hit your number almost every time. Almost every time. And if not, you're going to get real darn close. And how good would it feel to be that close to that number, whatever it might be that you wrote down, right? So anyway, questions, comments, concerns, tell me I'm crazy. I don't know, but that's what I was feeling today. And so that's why I thought I'd share that with you, Debbie and I. But we'll open the floor before we get into a script. Anyone?
I'm sorry. You can say those five things one more time.
Steph, thank you, but we can't hear you. Could you say whatever you just said a little bit louder?
I was just asking you to repeat 5 things one more time. I have no commitment. I'm just looking for one where I can write it down.
Did anybody catch that?
Yeah, she wants us to repeat the 5 things one more time.
Oh, sure. 5 things. Here we go. One more time. All right. So number 1 was figure out what that goal is. What is that I'm setting out to achieve? What do I want? And friends, I asked you because we are halfway through the year and headed into that 3rd quarter, right? And last week, and I bring it up, you know, why it came up was simply because, remember, last week we spoke about lag times in the market, right? And then we talked about what that could look like for us as real estate agents. Is there a lag? Because if there's a lag for us, well, we know how that shows up. Well, I don't want there to be a lag for you. And there does Debbie. And so here we are. We know that what we do today will show up in a month, 2 months, 3 months, right? And so I don't want you to that lag, and neither does she. And so we brought this up. So it's the 5, right? So number 1 is, what is that goal? What do you want your third quarter to look like? So have a goal. Number 2 is commitment. It is, what is your level of commitment? Because if it is not a 10, well, then the rest of it doesn't matter. And so we need to figure out that we are on a level 10, And if we're in an 8, how do we get to a 10? Do we need to make some adjustments on that goal? What do we need to do? But where's our level of commitment? Because level 10 is whatever it takes, I'm all in, 100%. This is my goal. That's my target. Okay. So then number 3 is to have a plan. So we've got this goal. We've got our commitment. What's our plan? And making certain, and I mean an outline plan, right? And it doesn't have to be 20 pages long. It can be 1 page, a little half page, whatever. But, and is that plan, after I look at that plan, is that plan going to get me to that goal, right? So have a plan. That was number 3. Number 4, get into action, massive action. And remember the airplane, because that's what I always think of, is that airplane. It is full on, full throttle, massive action. Because we know that if we do that, we'll get momentum, good things happen. And we all want those good things to happen. We've had that feeling before. We've gotten up and gone to the office and made a handful of phone calls, and good stuff starts to happen. Good stuff starts to happen. We've done it. We've all done it. Love that feeling. So when we get into massive action, good things happen. So massive action, and only you can do that. And then number 5 was real simple. It was, we've got to measure our results and we got to make adjustments. So if things aren't working, you know, if I chose to go door knock, I don't know, 200, 300, 400 doors, whatever, and it's not working in a particular neighborhood, or it's my script or whatever, but we've got to measure the things that we're doing, the activities, so that we can make adjustments, So anyway, I trust that you got that, Steph. Thank you. We repeated.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Anybody? So, what's that? You're good.
I was saying thank you.
My pleasure. So again, I do want to open it up real quick before we get into a script, because we're going to have a stop right around 9:05, at least us. Anybody have any other comments? I mean, we repeated it a couple times, but comments, concerns? You guys are crazy. I don't know. Great t-shirt. Curtis, so glad you can make it today. I don't know. Yeah. Yes, Claire. No? We just want to hear the script.
Listen, you know, Charles said after 200 calls and all the questions about getting questions about, was it a recording? He made adjustments, right? He didn't know. He couldn't hear himself or perceive that. And he kept getting the question, is this a recording? And he went, oh, I got to make an adjustment. Right. And he looked in the mirror, literally and figuratively, and said, what can I do differently? I got to change the pitch of my voice so that people don't think I'm a recording.
Love it.
I've got a comment.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, Joey,
Sure.
go ahead.
So the thing that I found that was most
Joey,
We lost you.
come back, Joey. He did disappear.
I think he fell off the call.
He definitely
I'll jump in,
disappeared.
Debbie and Curtis. First of all, thank you for these amazing calls that you guys do on Friday. Friday is my favorite call. Thanks, Tom. You guys are here and we love you. I can't wait till the program starts the next week. Myself, been in the business for 17 years and cannot wait to join that, what you're going to be sharing with us. It's so simple what you put together, Curtis. It's like mind-boggling, even for somebody who's been in the business long enough as me. The steps that you put, the goal, the commitment, the achievement, and massive actions. And if it's not working, readjust. It's like you're going the wrong route, like you use your GPS and something comes through, you make a wrong turn. What do? You go back to it. You go back, take the next exit and come around and get back on the track. No different than everything else is did. It's so simple that, same things that we do every day falls in the same category, but we get distracted. Our little squirrel comes in the way and there's one nugget here and one nugget here, and great $5 million transaction, great couple of transactions, and we get distracted. And it's so basic. This was crucial, needed it. Thank you. And Joey's back.
Oh,
Back.
my pleasure. Yeah, Joey.
And it's my luck that a call had to come in right when I was about to talk, right? That's how it works, right? So, so one thing that struck me, and I've always tried to follow this with everything that I did, was imperfect action is better than perfect inaction. There are so many people, and I fall into this category. I've got to get everything right before I do something. You just got to go and do it, and then, you know, make that adjustment, right, as you go along and learn from that. So that's just what I wanted to say.
Love it. Thank you for that.
Agents often
Anybody
think,
else? Go ahead.
agents often think that a new action, door knocking, calls, whatever, that a new action is going to feel as hard as it feels on day one. But like that plane, when you're starting something new, it feels hard. I can promise you in a very short period of time, it isn't as hard. Once the plane gets to altitude, it only needs the thrust to get off the ground. Once it's up, it can pull back. And the same thing is for us when we're developing a new skill. It can feel odd or weird if you're door knocking, you never dork. What do you say? I saw a lot of comments on Elizabeth's post on what'd you say, how'd you say. It's less about what you say and it's more about taking imperfect action. Knock on the door and say, hi, do you know the market's crazy? And do you know anybody that wants to buy or sell? Like, do it imperfectly. And then as you do it, you'll start to learn. You know, people say, what's the simplest script? Hi, do you know anybody that wants to buy or sell? There you go. If you said that 100 times a day, you would find someone that said, oh my God, are you a mind reader? I was just talking about that. Now, is it the best script if it's cold? Probably not. But even a bad script will find you results, right? And the idea is to take the action imperfectly and trust that in a very short period of time, you'll figure out. We had that story of that new agent that wanted to be on that team, Curtis, that went to the Rainmaker and said, I'd like to be on your team. And the Rainmaker said, get out of here. Come back to me after you've knocked 200 doors. The kid was young and just went and knocked 200 doors and came back and said, I have someone that wants to sell. Would you help me? He didn't have a script. He didn't have any preparation. He just went and did it because the Rainmaker said, go knock 100, 200 doors. Came back that week with a listing. No script, no preparation, right?
Well, Deb, you know what? We got to get into the script, but Deb, you know what that made me think of? And I know you know this. There was a quote from a particular author, and forgive me, people, I can't remember exactly who it was. I believe it might have been John Acuff, but I'm not sure. And basically it was perfectionism as a constant demand on ourselves is actually a hindrance to our success. You guys get that? So we all do want to be perfect. We're waiting for the perfect time, the perfect this, the perfect that, and we're actually holding ourselves back. We're actually holding ourselves back and from getting the thing that we want. So I'm so glad you brought that up, Deb. Thank you. Anyway, all right, so let's share a script because I got to roll. You got it in front of you or no?
I got it. You got it?
I don't, because I'm having technical computer issues today.
All right, so this is a really simple conversation, right? I'll start it out, but Curtis, you'll role play with me, all right? So this is for past clients and the people that you know. It's stunning to me that the deepest pool of business that we all have is right here. It's right here, deepest pool. It's deep, it's wide, and they love you already. And people say, but I don't know, I don't want to call my friends. It just sounds so salesy. We're going to make it conversational. And Liz is the expert. If you want to get good, get with Liz and role play with her. Like, seriously, Liz just gets everything from the people you know, she knows. So, hey, Curtis, it's Debbie with Keller Williams. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Deb. How are you?
So listen, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. So I haven't really spoken to you for like 2 years and I apologize. Like, what's up in your world? What are you loving with what you're doing right now?
Yeah, no worries, Deb. It has been about a couple of years. No, everything's fine. Thanks for asking. Rochelle's great. Love the house. Funny, I kind of thought about you too. Saw you the other day on Facebook. Looks like you went to Disney or something like that with your fam. But no, everything's cool. Thanks for asking.
Well, so listen, the reason for my call is I've had several friends like you reach out to me with questions about the market, and it made me think of you. And I was wondering if you had any real estate questions that I could help you with today.
No, I think we're okay. You know, we're not moving or anything, but yeah, I tell you what, I guess if I had to come up with a question, I keep seeing a thing talking about a bubble bursting.
You know, I'm seeing it too. If you're seeing it, I'm seeing it. And you know, the reality is we don't really know. We don't know what's going to come up in the market. I think we could all agree, we're pretty sure that interest rates are going to go up, and that's going to affect the market. How it's going to affect the market, we're not really sure. But listen, I just really wanted to make sure, Curtis, you knew if you had any real estate questions, you can reach out to me. Like, I'd like to be able to help you with any questions you might have.
Okay, well, I really appreciate that, Deb. Thanks.
Hey, listen real quick. I know you know the market's real crazy and people have all this equity in their home right now. I'm just curious. We have all these buyers that are trying to find homes. Do you know anyone that might have questions about real estate or might be thinking about moving that I could reach out to?
No, not at this time.
Terrific. Well, thanks for thinking about that. What about like neighbors or workers, maybe family members or friends?
No, not that I can think of.
Terrific. Well, listen, you know, my business is based on referrals from all my friends and clients. So please, if there's anyone you run across that needs my help, would you promise you'd reach out to me?
Absolutely.
And do me a favor, say hi to Rochelle. I'll talk to you soon.
You got it. Thanks, Deb.
Thanks.
All right. Was that an easy one or what?
For me?
Like we got it. We got it in writing. So what we'll do is we'll get it up to Tiffany or Tom so that they can actually get it forwarded out to you. But pretty straightforward. You're just calling your people, ask them if they have any questions about the market. Just starting a conversation, right? That's it. That's it. Anybody got any feedback on it? Like I see some like, I like it. I don't know. Yes, no, maybe. All right, I see some thumbs up. Cool. All right, people. Well, listen, I don't know where this call goes from here, but I know I can't be a part of it. I got to leave. And I know Deb does too. So Tiffany, it's back in your hands. I love you guys. We'll talk to you
guys.
Later.
We'll see you
guys
soon.
so much. Okay. And Tom Martin is still taking care of his beautiful granddaughter. So what I'm going to do is cut off the recording.